today, we're going to look at how I do Lenormand. And so this is really a pool I did for myself. And the question was around what do I need to know about work situations, not to my tarot practice, other stuff. And these are the 5 cards that came up. But when I do Lenormand, so I'll teach you how I do it, I always have all the 5 cards down. And I use 5 cards or a box spread or sometimes 3 cards with something really quick and easy. Box spread for something a little more in depth. And my 5 lines is my normal type of a thing. You can also do a 5 line on top, which is kind of like what you're thinking or like what somebody wants you to think versus the reality of the situation or the current energy on the bottom end. But I'm not going to do that today. We're just going to do this one here. And so when I first came in here, I'm like, what I need to know? The coffin. I'm like, holy crap. What has to die? What has to go, right? What has to die so I can move on and move forward with my 8? What can I do to keep that momentum going forward and let go of something? What is it? So the next thing that I like to do is I pull over all the cards just so I can kind of get a clear picture of the line that's sitting ahead of me. And kind of perplexed me a little bit. I'm thinking to myself, that's kind of a weird pull, right? You got the snake, the viper. You got the heart, emotions, love, or whatever, right? You got the coffin. So now you got to start pairing it up. That's how you read Lenormand. It's very accurate. It's saying, well, you're dealing with some toxic emotions. This is me in the heart here. It's not somebody else. It's me, because this other thing that I'm working with, it is toxic. I don't like it very much. And so it's saying you have to kind of like let that go away or die. See how the picture builds up on itself? So you have a snake, which is like, think about venom or something nipping to the heels, but it's nipping where? At the heart, at your emotions. It's kind of draining your energy. Is you're doing something you don't want to do and you have to kill it. Okay? How do you kill it? Well, you have to learn to let it go, not worry about it anymore. It's just a thing of the past. And then once you realize that, okay, then when it dies, what happens? Then new opportunities will open up in the financial area. And it'll feel like a gift because it's going to be very, the way I read it is it'll be very prosperous in a sense. So it's kind of like a gift given to me or something that's given that makes me happy. So the new way of earning an income will make me happy. Because why? Now, this is where you go a little deeper with Lenormand. You look at the flanking cards. So you know you need to change, right? Well, when you change, then that means that you're going to help people get through toxic situations. Is going to bring them like, it's almost like a gift because you give them like an answer. So I'm looking at this to myself thinking, this is my spiritual practice. It's telling me I got a lot to grow. So you see how the snake here? So I'm changing what I do currently, need to change what I'm doing currently and morph it into something where I help people overcome toxic behavior or toxic environments or toxic situations, and it brings them hope or kind of like a gift. So this is the bouquet. It's like a flower, and a flower is all about what? Good things. When you give somebody a bouquet of flowers, it makes them feel good about themselves. So when they talk to you about this toxic stuff, you're asking questions for them. It brings them a little bit of happiness because it gives them some guidance on the way out. Okay, and that's about the change. Then you come move in. Okay, well, what else? Well, when you can make somebody have a little bit of happiness in their heart, they're willing to give back to you, right? You see about the fish swimming this way. So when you help them overcome their obstacles, then prosperity comes your way as well. And so it really kind of tied into the whole spiritual practice I have. So when you give people, like a counselor, right? You pay them for what? For advice. To do what? To move forward. The 8. To die to the old ways, to move to new ways. So even they're prosperous too. See how now it flips even to the other querent? Well, I'm the querent here, but so when they can let go of that toxic nature or that toxic situation and let their heart become a little bit more easy because they're dying to all that negative energy, they can then now become prosperous as well and then move forward in the day and finally have some peace and happiness in them. And that's a 9 they can attain. Okay, so that's how I read Lenormand. Now, another way you can go about this as well is there's something called houses, right? And so 1 is the message or the cavalier, the rider. 2 is the clover. 3 is the ship. 4 is the house. And 5 is the tree. Okay, so another way of looking at this as well is the 3 is around the ship. So that means movement. So the coffin's in the house of movement, house of 3, movement. And what's 3 around growth? How do you grow? By letting things go, right? And so you see it's getting deeper and deeper now. Well, okay, well, the snake is in the house of 1, rider. What does a rider do? It brings a message. So it means that you got to kind of cut off those negative messages. So the toxicity is usually around things that happen quickly, maybe in your things that you're passionate about, right? Job, whatever. Things that are maybe in the news. Again, I'm switching topics here a little bit to kind of show you. Things are in the news. So things are always toxic and they kind of hamper your heart. Clover. So kind of it's designed to bring you down so that you can't grow. And so with a little bit of luck, you can then overcome that. But it's not really luck per se. It's really trusting your intuition and trusting yourself that you're going to be able to let go of that. And that's the clover. That's the luck. It's the fact that you're able to find the opportunities to move forward. You're able to look at this toxic nature more of a lighthearted way rather than get so caught up in it where it destroys you. So you're saying, I don't care. Whatever, dude, you're done. I'm going to coffin you, right? 86 you. You're out of here. And then you have the fish, which is in the house of the 4, which is the house position. So that means that it becomes stable. So your growth, it doesn't always have to mean money, but like your material world, because fish is finances or it's money in a way, it becomes stabilized. It becomes secure because you're not doing all this nonsense that you don't like very much. And because of that, you then have a tree. The gift now becomes a solid foundation for you. You see? So when you read the Lenormand, it's much more deep than like, oh, there's a card, there's a coffin. Oh, there's a fish. Okay, so it's about you're ending into new money of some type, or the ending's coming where it's a financial change. It's going to bring you happiness. When you really kind of step back and look at the cards, again, this is me reading for myself, and if I read for you, it'd be the same type of a thing. You start drilling down because it really opens it up. You don't need it. That's a thing too. So many people think you need like 30 freaking cards. You don't need 30 cards at all. You can do grand tableau, that's fine, but you don't need it. A lot of times 3-5 cards can work just fine. And to show you, let's take this question, what I need to know, and also map it into tarot. I'm just gonna use rather Waite. I don't have my Marseille deck near me. If I did, I would pull it out for you. Hold on. Maybe I will. We'll see. Let's see how this goes, okay? All right, so now we'll go tarot. So how are you all doing out there? Everything going good with you? Do you like these type of little tutorials that I do? You find them enjoyable? The type of questions I've been asking lately? If you do, let me know, right? Drop in the comments, because the only way we can grow as tarot practitioners or Lenormand practitioners is to create content that helps you in your practice as well. It's not about me, it's about all of us, right? It's the collective. And so if you are enjoying these little things, let me know. And also, if you want to have more insights, go over to wordtothetwist.com, sign up for my newsletter, or become a member. It's free. Also, I have 2 memberships, a paid and a free. And the reason why I have 2 is because right now things are kind of tight. So the free version, which is called just a member, has content that's not available to the public. And the paid version is called Insiders. And that is paid with things that the public or the normal members can't see, right? Because it's more deeper dives into different things. Now, again, what I need to know, so I'm going to pull this card. So when I do a 3 card in tarot, same thing. You don't need a lot of cards. Theme, right? The kind of overall vibe, theme. Things that are blocking or to be mindful of. I like using that card too. It doesn't always have to be like, oh, negative, the sky is falling. It's more like, what's blocking me or what I need to be mindful of. And then 3 is like your path forward or the advice, okay? So what I need to know, 8. Messages. See, it's funny how the 8 comes up, right? Things are moving quickly. So you have to be very careful of like fast incoming messages and around passions and your desires, because it's a fire card, right? So it's going to burn hot, going to come really quick at you. It's an 8, 5, and a 3. Now, with tarot, I break it down more in numerology. So we're saying that the 5 is contention, snake, right? 3 is growth, heart will warm if you can move forward and get beyond that frustration to become free. Okay. And the things to be mindful of is that don't let it get you mentally, right? So you see here how you have the card upside down, the 3 of swords. So the swords is a mental card. It's a mind card. It's all about clarity, communication, intellect, and so forth. But because it's flipped, at least with the right, I don't read Marseille's flip too much, depending on the card, but this is telling you that it's time to get over it, right? Now, I know it's hard, but it's time to get over it because your mind was so crushed by things incoming that were kind of probably not very nice, right? It just broke you. It broke you. So it's telling you to say, remember that, take it with a grain of salt, you know, and just let it go. Let it roll off your back so you can move forward, so you can grow, have that expansion you're looking for in your business. Because I'm going with business, that's what the top line says. I'm keeping it in that. So if I want to have business, all the stuff that's on the outside, all the noise, I gotta have to let it go, right? So you see how it's not all about love and stuff. People use this card as that. It's not about that. It's that your mind is so crushed that it breaks your heart, or that makes you feel very unwell, right? It just pierces your soul, man. You know, that's what the vibe I'm getting. And when you look at these together, you have the 8 and the 3 is an 11, which means you have to tap into your intuition and divine guidance from your spirit guides or whatever to get you through it so you can move forward. But even there with the 11, it's telling me again my spiritual practice, because 11 is a match number. It's all around intuition, connecting with the divine and so forth. And so it's telling me that I have to basically ignore the noise coming at me every day. It's hard and fast, the things I don't really like to do, right? So I can focus on what I love to do. And to me, this is like something I love to do. I like to help people, and I like just to teach it and share it, because to me, tarot and Lenormand and all this stuff is like my religion, because I'm heavily into numerology, and that's my background. That's where I came from. Now here is what to look out for. Don't let the negativity get into your head, right? So even though you're trying to break free and not letting the messages bother you, right? Let your heart heal from it. It's telling you, but remember, this could be your job or whatever. The king upside down is going to try to mess with your head and saying, well, no, you can't really make a change right now because you have to have stability in what you're doing. So even though you don't love doing what you're doing, do it anyway, because you got to make money, right? You got to make sure that you're going to be okay. Ignore that, because it's not true. See, a lot of times too, the mind is going to tell you things that aren't even real, but it puts in your subconscious so that you think they're real. And then you feel like, well, I can't do anything else, because if I do, the sky's going to fall. So I can't take a risk. But it's not a risk. It's calculated, right? You already know what you're doing. You already know what you want to do. You just got to do it smart, right? Be the king upside right, and don't let it get into your head. So that's kind of how you can read the two systems side by side. And then what I also like to do as well, so even if I was reading it for you, I would do the same thing. I always pull different systems because I like to blend them to kind of get a really clear message. And what I'm seeing here is that the noise, I have to learn to kind of let it go and get over it. Don't let it kind of crush me. Don't let it weigh me down. Yeah, you got to do it because it's your job. Remember what my top line was about. But don't let it take all your energy away, right? Don't let it drain you mentally, okay? Because at the end of the day, you still have to take orders, right? You still got to get a paycheck. But don't let it consume your world, right? Take it with a grain of salt. Just do what you got to do and move on, right? That's what's kind of telling me here. And then here you have, again, 8 and 3 is an 11. But then the kings I map as a 4. I wrote about this on my site quite a bit too. If you go to wordswithtwist.com, you'll be able to find this. But I don't do the court cards as 11, 12, 13, and 14 because I do them 1 to 4. Because the 1 to 4, and the reason why is it maps to a 10. And a 10 is all the minor cards, and that goes back to a cycle of the 1. So once you get to the king, you go back to a 1. So a page is a 1, a knight is a 2, a queen is a 3, and a king is a 4. Okay? After that stability, so another reason why I did it, since I kind of left this part out, a 1's new opportunities, that's a page. A 2's decision, decisiveness, quick is kind of like quick thinking. That's a 2, it's a knight. Growth, communication, and so forth, that is your queen. And then your king is your 4, your stability, your structure, right? That's why I number it that way. And so you have a 4, so you have the 11 and a 4 is a 15. And what it's telling me here is also that if I really want to do what I love to do, I got to take the opportunity of the 1, break free of the 5 from the struggle, and flip it to free me, to give me the 6, harmony and peace. And what does the 6 map to? The Lover's card, right? Unity, bringing people together, helping people out, and so forth. Talking with the upper world, right? The angel on the top, 2 people. And I look to 2 people not so much as like individuals per se. It's more like the subconscious and the conscious mind working together, the masculine and feminine energy coming together as one, as clarity, and you're opening the connection to the divine. You can channel, right? And so that's what's kind of telling me is, again, it's pushed me back into like really focus on your spiritual practice and don't worry about the earthly realm. It'll take care of itself. You'll be fine. So that's how I read Lenormand and Tarot in my own practice from my daily pulls. Or this has actually been about a week since I pulled it. And then one thing you can do too, which I like to do, you can grab some dice. And I bought some different dice, and I'll tell you why in a second. All right, so it's these ones, this one, and I'll use these two. Okay, so this is a D 15 because I couldn't find a D14 to map to the minors. So if I go over a 14, because that's your king right there, right? I don't reduce that down. That's 14. That's a king. It's a 4. If I hit a 15, I re-roll it. So it has to come up between a 1 and a 14. Sorry, it goes to D16. So 15 or 16 re-roll, because if you don't re-roll the 15 or the 16 and try to reduce it, the dice becomes a little bit biased, and so it's not really as accurate. All right, so that's one way to use a D16 dice. So if I rolled it, it's giving me an 8 energy. 8. Isn't that crazy? And this is yellow is swords, air. It's telling me that I have to move forward and just go with it and just trust it. That was an 8 too, the fire. I'm telling you, this stuff is so accurate. It's not random by no means. It's this is the real deal here. Okay, this dice here is a D, I think a 26 or something, or a 24, I think it is. Now this one, it goes from 1 is the Fool, because 0, there's no 0, and well, no, 1 is the Magician, 22 is the Fool. That's how I map it here. Yeah, because it's different systems, different ways. But the 22 becomes a Fool, and then anything over that, you can re-roll it, or you can map it back down. 23 could be a 5, the Hierophant. 24 could be 6, the Lover's card, and so forth. A little biased, but it's okay. But again, the 1 is a Magician, and the 22 becomes a Fool. That's how you use a D26 dice. These guys here are just a D12s. Sorry, D6s, and gives you a total of 12 in a combination. So if I hit a 12, and since there isn't one, I go to 1 to 10, I will map those back down again. So on these dice, I do that sometimes where you see me roll, like here, I have an 11, I don't have to roll back down, but 11, my intuition. And then what you can say is, because it comes from 2 different energies, a 5 and a 6, then it's saying that if you want to have harmony and you want to have freedom, you have to 11 it. Really tap into your intuition and trust it. Trust your gut and move forward. You'll find the answers. Okay, now if it was a 12, you could map that to a major arcana if you want to, but I don't like doing that too much. So for a 12, I would say, well, this is now a 3. So it's 2 6s. So it's like double the energy of, you want stability. How? What energies? You, by really focusing on new options and considering, weighing your options, the ones, you then can have 3, that growth that you want to have. And that comes from the 12. That will bring you the harmony that you want. So that's how I read the dice. If you have questions about this, I kind of rambled a little bit because I wasn't planning on throwing dice in this little quick tutorial. Let me know in the comments. I'm more than happy to go into a little more depth if you like that. And one more thing too is that the different dice, why did I get the different colors? Because this represents fire, so wands. This represents water, blue, cups. This represents pentacles, green, earth. And this represents swords, air, the mind. Okay? And so that's why I found these, got them, because I thought it was cool. This can really do the entire minor arcana. So with these 2 dice together, I can cover the minor and major. Right? It's kind of cool. So that's how you dice in my practice. Anyway, that's all I have. And if you'd enjoyed it, let me know. Head over to worldtwist.com, join my newsletter, or become a member for your paid. That's up to you. And I want to see you in my next tutorial or reading. All right. Bye, everybody. See you later.